Hello, it's Leslie here. Today I wanted to discuss whether there are any downsides to learning a language or languages. I have noticed a few negative things that have happened to me since speaking another language or more than one language. And I have a bit of a list here. Um, the main thing I've noticed, I think, is that as new words have come into my head and I've had to remember these new words, I feel like my brain is kind of full. And so everything that's coming in, something has to be pushed out. And what I've noticed is that my spelling in English has deteriorated drastically. So, for example, anything with a double consonant or double consonants, like a word like commitment or, let me think, yeah, a word with two consonants like commission. I would have to look up now whether the first set of double consonants is one, in fact, a single consonant, and then the double one. So even the other day, I forgot how to spell forest, and I spelled the word forest with a double R, which is bad. So, but I eventually realized, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. But so my spelling has gone downhill drastically. Um, just the double letters get me now, and sometimes even some diphthongs, I think they're called double vowels. Sometimes I start spelling it the wrong way, especially if there's two versions of one word. My spelling is terrible now, it really is. And English people, monolingual people, really look down on people that can't spell, I've noticed. Like, when you see someone that can't spell, it's like they're uneducated or something. There's this big assumption that they're not intelligent or they're not educated. And I think a lot of monolingual English people are very, well, spellingist, which is not a good thing because I'm struggling with my spelling and it's only going to get worse. So the other thing I've noticed is the words I don't use very often are going more into my passive memory. So I'm not able to recall English words quite so fast. It might take me even a few minutes to recall one word, or I'll sit there going, oh, what's the word? Oh, my English is terrible. And I have to stall people to think of the English word, which is quite surprising, but that's how it is. I'd still rather learn another whole language and have to pause here and there, though, than just have one, because I think it is very rewarding. Sometimes my word order is a little bit off. So if you know English, it's what I would say English is a very highly sensitive to word order. Usually there's one right way to put the words in order, and that sounds more correct than the other way that you might have come up with. So sometimes when I'm speaking, I'll just reverse the words, and weird stuff is happening with my spoken English. Um, People still understand me though, so it doesn't really matter. But I've noticed that sometimes I put the words in the wrong order just in casual conversation with my friends and family. The other last thing I'll say is that I've noticed I sometimes use the wrong prepositions, like on, at, to, these sort of things. I'll say the wrong one, like instead of saying at school, I might say in school, or something like that, or because the Russians use the preposition on quite a lot, I'm using that where I shouldn't use it. So I do have to check my grammar if I'm writing something, or my spelling especially. I always have to check that now. So those are the things that I have found detrimental, the negative things that have happened to me since learning some languages. I wouldn't let that put you off though. Just be aware though that there's some sort of trade-off. If you're going to speak or know more than two or three languages, well, let's say more than three. It didn't happen to me when I only spoke two. But as I started to try and reach for like four languages, I noticed this happening more and more. So there's a big trade-off, and some people out there want to speak many languages, there's going to be eventually some sort of price to pay. And I don't want to pay too high a price with English and the others. I'd rather learn less languages and learn them well. So I will probably be stopping at Japanese, my last language, which I'm going to start learning at the end of this July. So I kind of can't take any more loss. I don't want to lose what I've got. So I'm going to just not get greedy, and I will be just focusing on some main languages. There's a guy out there, there's many people that want to speak, 19 languages or something or whatever. I'm not really aiming for that, because I think I don't want to have a superficial understanding of each language. I want to be able to just turn on the television and watch the news in the language that I want, with about 5 languages. I don't want to have to start looking up words. I don't want to know 20 languages half-assed. I want to know them quite well. So that's one of the things, that I'll tell you about me. This is pretty much all I have to say today, but I highly recommend, if you're only speaking one language, I think, learning another one can open up a whole world to you, a whole new culture. It's like a doorway, and really, I think it's very incomparable. You can't describe it. It's very rewarding to learn another language. So I've written my little notes down here. That's the price you've got to pay, I think, for learning more than one. You have to pay some sort of price somewhere. And I just want you to be aware that, you don't get anything for free, and there's always some sort of trade-off. So, I don't want to keep learning new languages every year or every 2 years. I'm not some sort of collector of languages. So I will do another video about Duolingo and what I think about that, because there's some people on there that are learning 20 plus languages, which is kind of a joke, because how well can they really know them? So that's all I have to say today. The other news I have for you is that I bought a new, what's it called? I had to go and look up that word then. I have bought a new pop filter, like a windshield. So you might have noticed that my microphone was picking up my breathing sometimes. So I've tried to get that better. I think it sounds better now. I've tested it out. Here it is. It's a little bit complicated system, but there it is. I think it works well now. So that was one of the words that I couldn't remember. Pop filter. I had to go and look it up because I don't use it every day or every week. See, these sort of words that I might use once a month, I don't remember them. So I have to go and search or just wait until my brain starts working. But it's a small price to pay, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.